So what do you think would be most beneficial for you to make a decision and say what you think you would do and then talk about it?
How fast I have disruption and or present a combo. This hand presents neither, so I think it's a mulligan.
That is what I would do, yeah.
This one's a little better. I think having the black is very key. I think this one is keepable because I think a 5 would be worse, even though this one is not going to win right away. I think there's a lot of things we can draw into that would allow us to win. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's close. I think if I had some kind of information, we're just going to assume we have no idea what this person's on. That could sway it one way or the other. But in the dark, I think this is really borderline because there is no path to the combo. But we do have a duress. We are on the draw. So I think it's fine.
The question is what to bottom. I think it's close between the second pedal and the spirit guide. How do you think about this?
I think it's the second pedal. So the considerations are the only way we're going to need the second pedal is if the Bayou gets wastelanded. Because that would theoretically, if we bottom a pedal and the Bayou gets wastelanded, that would cut us off a Hex Mage. But we already have the stage, so if we draw into the depths or a way to find the depths.
Isn't pedal always better than spirit guide though? Almost, I guess no, because it's not instant speed. But
if you need the second black, it absolutely is. But the spirit guide conceals so much information and can cause a lot of play mistakes on the other side. So if you have the black already for Hex Mage, I think the spirit guide's better.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Looks like Rogue.
Yeah, it's probably Rug or some kind of storm combo. That's interesting. I think we're gonna buy you Lotus Petal and then just fire off the duress, playing around days. That's how I would do it.
I would actually just do it off the Bayou. Because in my opinion, I think we actually kind of want them to daze here.
Interesting.
Because that basically time walks them on Dreadhorde Arcanist, right?
Yeah, and we don't.
So if we show the pedal, they may not daze.
Right. At least without the pedal, we might be able to present ourselves as like. Actually, no, we can't really present ourselves as Storm or any other deck, right? Because they play the same cards. If someone sees Bayou Duress, like. They pretty much know we're on some kind of combo, right? Just
usually depths are in, yeah.
Okay, let's try that. I guess we don't really want to trade the pedal for the days anyway, so
we would use the spirit guide. So
yeah, looks like we're gonna see a daze or a brainstorm. All right, nice. So. I think we just let it go, right?
I would pay for the days with the spirit guide.
Oh, are they thinking? Oh, okay, I see.
This is fine.
Force will this now? It's like, I guess they're hiding their hand now. So,
yeah, I mean, this is fine. This basically locks them into getting the least amount of value out of their brainstorm.
That's right. This reminds me, the other day I played against Rug Delver that had Arcanist, 2 Submerges, and a Vapor Snag. That was like, I was not winning that game. So it goes.
Nice Vonnegut reference.
Oh, okay. So
it's infect.
That's interesting.
Okay, so this is actually.
Well, I'll just go off as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is Blighted Agents, a card we can't really interact with.
That's right. So we're just going to be racing.
Yeah, so
I think there's probably a case of just play out the Lotus Petal, right? It doesn't matter. We can play it out next turn, right?
Yeah, their next turn's scripted anyway. They're either going to have... they're not going to be able to force our Sylvan Scrying, so they're either going to have a Daze or more likely a Pump spell. So this is another instance where the
I think buying us time is good. Oh, that's a great draw. Let's think about this.
So
We could just play out the Thespian stage, play out the Hex Mage.
we're short on we can't do anything until turn.
We probably want to just
anything.
Sylvan Scrying Depths go, right?
Yeah, but I would play the pedal first on the off chance they hit a daze.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah. So they're gonna need to have
play around Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, if they have Spell Pierce, that's actually not that big of a deal.
Oh, I just meant play around Spell Pierce on the pedal. Obviously, we can't play around it here. But
yeah, I would almost prefer they have Spell Pierce.
Oh, they do have Spell Pierce.
Okay, well that means they didn't just hide 2 pump spells, so maybe we have some time.
So we just let this one. I mean, obviously we have to let this one go. And
yep.
We just pass the turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, they don't have a Wasteland, so that's good.
Yeah, they usually only have 1 main deck, if that.
At this point, they're presenting like a turn 5 kill at the earliest, which is kind of nice.
Okay. So hopefully we just draw a land here. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah. Question is, do we thought seize them now to maybe take away their kill? Or, yeah, I mean, that's really the question. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the second hidden card, so they clearly wanted to keep it. So the only other option is to Hex Mage, but I don't like that. We kind of want to... it's actually kind of close.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, we have a deterministic turn 5 kill if we go for the Hex Mage. I mean, as the game goes longer, I think it's going to be worse for us, right? But they could be crippled for several turns. Take whatever it is.
Yeah, I think taking it's actually where we need to be because they have blockers too. So we're going to need to not get like clocked for, you know, if that thing is a is the that's unfortunate. It's weird that they kept that.
So maybe they just had air. That's just like, but somehow they made us take the Vines of Vastwood. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that thought process is. I would have stacked that very differently. I would have let us take the days, put the Pierce on top, and the Vines 2 down.
I guess we just got leveled. I mean, they could kill us in 5 turns. Yeah, I'm just really not sure what's happening here, but I need to give my opponent the benefit of the doubt here. Like, maybe this is the card that they have? Okay, is there anything that we need to do in response to this, or at the end of the turn?
No, I don't think so. We don't want to lose our second black source. We just kind of want to draw a land.
That's actually not bad because we can shut off the Nexus that halves their clock.
Yeah, so so how I would do this now is
I should have.
That's okay.
The question is, do I want to name Oko Nexus or Wasteland?
I think you just want to name Nexus because one of the things we need to do besides slow their clock down is also we need to be able to kill them when we make the token, so we don't want to give them blockers.
That's true.
So how I would have sequenced this turn was just play the Hex Mage.
Oh, yes.
We kind of...
Oh, yeah, I kind of messed up.
We kind of opened ourselves up. Yeah, that's okay. Happens. Because the Ink Moth or the Needle could come down after the Hex Mage or the following turn, yeah. Oh, that was nice. They didn't have to show us that.
All
right, that's good enough. Yeah. So Yeah, this is fine. So what I think we want to do is during their upkeep, before they can draw another spell and before they can get to a 5th land for Force of Will, is I think we want to crop rotate during their upkeep.
Got it. And we want to crop rotate away the Bayou, right?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it really matters. Normally, you could keep the Bayou to try and push through Nexus if you draw like another crop rotation to tutor for Ghost Quarter, but we have the Nexus cut off unless they Oko the Needle, so I think getting rid of the Bayou is fine.
So getting rid of the Bayou? Okay, so let me float it first.
Okay.
Now this is interesting. I think I should make the 2020. No, if they have Oko, we can't do it. But if they have like the kill, then we also can't. Oh, we can't block it anyway.
We can't block anyway. Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. Would you consider blocking or having a 2020 block if this was blockable?
If it was blockable, I would put the Hexmage in front of it because at that point, Hexmage has first strike, so they would have to take an action. So if they have a pump spell, they would have to pump it.
Like trample or something to actually.
Yeah, they would. Yep. So, and if they just have like an Invigorate or something like that, it doesn't do anything.
All right, so we make it?
Yep. There's very little they could actually have here. I mean, they could have like a 1-of crop rotation, but we weren't beating that anyway. So I think we're fine.
I like it. He's playing it all the way to the end.
Okay. They paid to enter too.
That's right. I think I know what to do, but let's see here. 2 decays in the library. Let's see. What do you suggest taking out here on the draw? Caracas and Out of This World. I heartily endorse that.
Yeah, they can have some cards that matter. Like they can, some versions. I alter my board plan if they show white. So like some version of Infect will slash a Savannah off their fetch base and bring in some swords. They'll bring in some Swords to Plowshares, and then they'll bring in a single copy of Caracas and a crop rotation since it can find their Nexus, and they'll have a 1-of Wasteland. So depending on what you see out of them post board, we may want to adjust. But in the dark, you already have a pile of needles that can answer Caracas. You're generally going to get to see their hand with all this card. So we have Ghost Quarter.
These cards don't really do anything, right?
No, not really. Like the Veils can help fight against some of their counter magic, but that's not really what we're worried about. The Oof doesn't really do anything. The Force of Vigor, it's marginal at best. If you do see the white, we have the options to bring in either Safekeepers or Not of This World. Safekeeper in particular is probably better than Not of This World because sometimes just having a 1/1 blocker for their Glistener Elf is irrelevant.
What's the argument for like bringing in the library? Because it doesn't seem like they want to actually grind this matchup, right?
You don't, but if, say, you have it on turn 1 off an Accelerant, or you discard spell on 1 into a Sylvan Library, you can more or less just draw freely because unless they're Noble Hierarching you, they have no clock. The Infect damage just isn't relevant for the library, so it represents just essentially 4 extra cards.
This looks really bad because I should have taken out the Bog. If there was something better to bring in, maybe a Safekeeper for that. But this is essentially a mulligan, I believe, because there's no combo. There's no pressure.
Well, there is a combo. There is the combo. It's just really slow. It's a turn 4 combo. So yeah, I would also ship this hand.
Okay, this looks a lot better because you can decay, you can Thoughtseize Inquisition, and you have Hexmage. The problem is you don't have the combo, but hopefully we can draw into it, and I would just bottom this step. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think this is a keep for this specific matchup, yeah, because discard is just so good here. And the decay is obviously really good here too. Yeah. So basically the only thing that they should be able to get through here is if they have exactly a Nexus draw. That's going to kind of be annoying. We don't have a way to handle the Nexus, but we should be able to handle the pump spells. They also mulled, so that's nice. Veil is probably what they're presenting.
I mean, even if we think there's a veil, we still have to go for it, right? Or do we just not?
So the only alternative we have is to play Needle in the Dark, but I don't like that. I'd want to get a look at their hand first before we Needle. So if they veil us, they veil us. We still have a follow-up discard spell.
So Urborg, Thoughtseize?
I think I would actually start with the Inquisition. The damage isn't really relevant, and I just think it's the
better with the weaker one that might draw their veil kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So if we resolve the discard spell in turn 2, there's a chance we'd want to take something like a Force of Will that Inquisition would miss, or even like forgetting the name of it, whatever the big pump spell is that works off the graveyard. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of it. Become Events, yeah. So there's a couple of cards we would want to have the option to take, and this is the Brainstorm line again, so this is nice.
Yeah, people kept talking about Become Events with Dreadhorde Arcanist, and it almost became a meme. I tried it. It never worked out for me. So
So this is great again. It's taking them off their 2 drops again for another turn.
Yeah. Much rather see this than a Brainstorm or a Veil, that's for sure. Oh, okay. We do.
Wow, they did it again. So hopefully they play a fetch and not the Trop.
That's interesting. If I were the Infect player, I'd probably just let Death's player take a card. But maybe that's just
maybe they don't have any action and they're looking for something to press the issue. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe they are in the white version. Heath.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I think we could fire off a Thoughtseize, right?
I think believe it or not, I think I would actually pass here. So I think the most likely, I think the most likely thing for them to do here is play one of their broken 2 drops, whether you see the Blighted Agent, whether you see possibly a Sylvan Library. So this also has them draw through their Brainstorm, so there's no card hidden on top. Because if they don't fetch either here or during their upkeep, they wanted to draw both of the cards they put on top. At which point, not only do we get a shot at decaying the 2 drop if we want, but then if they're tapped out, we can Thoughtseize and see everything that they had from their opener.
Hopefully they're thinking about firing off the second Brainstorm right now.
Okay, they didn't want their last card. Even if they don't do anything on 2, we can play the discard spell through Spell Pierce.
As far as I know, most Infect lists have maybe 1 Wasteland. They're definitely not maxing out on it.
Interesting. So they're just going this way. All right.
It could be just counter magic for the Hex Mage. Let's see here. Do we?
So this is.
Do we? So I guess we play out this land and Sylvan Scrying and go, right? Pretty much.
I would Thoughtseize first.
Okay.
So I mean, play out the land and then
play out the land,
first,
play around whatever, and Thoughtseize them.
Yeah, because we really don't want the Sylvan Scrying getting countered. And depending on how devastating their hand is, or if we get to see it, we have the option of needling the Nexus.
We could needle or scrying or just pass.
Yeah. So.
Are we going to see a spell boost? Crop rotation.
Now this is beautiful because we're going to get access to the needle off whatever they get.
That's true.
They may get Wasteland here. That's kind of okay. We're kind of covered. We're gonna have double black regardless.
Yeah, it looks like we should just take the Blighted Agent, no? Or
so
that actually makes them.
If they draw Invigorate, that would be death.
Yeah, but we'll have
but they have two, so it doesn't matter. I think we definitely take the Blighted Agent. What I think this does is, locks us into wanting to needle that Wasteland or needle the Inkmoth Nexus, unfortunately.
So we are going to needle the Inkmoth Nexus, or do we just play Hexmage Go? Because if they can, this can become with the 2 Berserks, it can become 4 poison, right?
Correct.
But if they draw any other pump spell, we're dead.
No, it has to be exactly Invigorate, right? Because they don't have the additional green mana to be able to play both Berserk and an additional pump spell. So the only pump spell that kills us is exactly Invigorate. So the way I see it is we get to 2 lines. We could either play it really safe, plan on playing a little bit of a longer game, needle the Nexus, and then plan on just drawing into a way to win through the Wasteland eventually. Or we could just Sylvan Scrying for depth right now, and then next turn play the needle first on Wasteland, then play the Hexmage and have the combo. So we can present a turn 4 combo, which would give them 2 additional draws. Their turn 4 and turn 5, right?
Yeah, maybe I should have taken the Berserk because I could abrupt decay the Blighted Agent. Maybe that was a mistake. But
the second Berserk doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So they need a starting point.
So given where we are now, I kind of like the Sylvan Scrying line.
Okay, then go for the kill.
So I would fetch a basic forest and just get the Dark Depths.
I would actually grab a Bayou because it doesn't. If they want to Wasteland our Bayou, that helps us.
That's true.
If they Wastelanded our Bayou, we could play the both the combo and needle their Nexus next turn.
Yeah. Let's get Dark Depths.
So there is some risk to this line, but it cuts them off the fastest.
Basically, have to dodge. Maybe it's like a 2 outer or 3 outer.
Invigorate's usually a 4 of, I think.
Okay. Well, they don't have it. If they did, they'd play a lot faster. Unless they're strong too, or multi.
I mean, to be fair, given the way we're playing, whoa. Now that's
okay. Works. So what does that signal though?
It signals to me that it doesn't matter anymore. They don't have a blue card, right? Their hand is, or they can't have a Force of Will. Their hand is, Berserk Unknown. So I think we just tap the Urborg and play Needle and see what happens.
We're doing this on Wasteland, right? Just to be clear.
Depends on what they do. If they waste us, then I believe that's their only Wasteland. So at that point, we would either name Nexus or Caracas.
I like that we're putting them to the test more than they're putting us to the test.
Yeah. If they hit our Urborg, that's kind of annoying because that kind of makes us decide whether we want to play around days or not.
But we could always tap in response to them wasting too, right? So we would actually. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
play out the dark depths.
Yeah, we want the one additional off the dark depths, and we couldn't really play out the depths first because that loses to just a lot of players for some reason board in surgical extraction against depths, and I just wouldn't want to expose us to losing to a one of surgical. Like if their one unknown was exactly surgical, they wasteland our depths, we lose. Okay,
so given it resolved, we're gonna have to name wasteland, right?
Yep.
Okay, now we just go for it.
I think so. Yeah, or at least play the Hexmage anyway.
I think there's no reason to just pass the turn, right? Just pass.
Yeah, we don't want to, since we already have Wasteland locked. Maybe they have some artifact removal, but we don't want to lose to Oko off the top. So I would wait.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Sword and Oko, that's impossible though, given what we saw, I believe.
Yeah, even if they do have swords, that's not the end of the world. We have another depths to start to rebuild already.
I was doing a league with Lawrence Harmon, and because we were playing Grixis Delver, like we had a game go down to like 15 seconds left on the clock and all kinds of stuff. Thankfully, this deck is not that kind of deck.
It could be. We're only in game 2.
You're right. Might have spoken too early.
Okay, well, that's a great sign. I would replay the depths. No, I guess it doesn't matter. This is fine.
Yeah. So we would replay the depths and also play out the Reclaimer, obviously, right?
Yep. Yeah, the Reclaimer is great because if somehow they do find the answer, that'll enable us to set up again in 2 turns, since we'll already have the depths in play. Plus, we can make it a 3/4 at will, which is great against if they happen to draw a Glistener Elf or anything along those lines in addition to an answer.
All right. So I don't think there's much to talk about. Let's just move on to the next match, if that's okay with you.
Jeff White's.
Yeah.
Jeff White is a very good player.
It's probably Snowco, right?
He plays a little bit of a variety. More recently, I've seen him been playing a little bit of a Lauren too. But Snowco's a possibility. I agree.
Doesn't beat anything. This, on the other hand, is just also pretty bad, I think.
Yeah, so on the plus side, we could bottom the second Urborg, and it presents a turn 2. So I think in the dark on the draw, I might actually keep this, but knowing the kind of decks that Jeff likes to play, that feels miserable. So I don't know.
Swords either, right? He's not going to always.
It's true.
Swords, so.
It's true.
Maybe we just go. For
I think.
it.
Yeah, I think the plus is that even if the first combo gets answered, we're kind of most of the way there to the second combo already with the second depths.
Okay.
So you could possibly just brute force.
Okay, let's keep this, and I think I would bottom the Urborg. Would you agree?
I agree, yeah. I don't think this is likely to be a wasteland matchup. This looks about right for him.
Yep. Astrolabe. Yep. That's the white mana. Well, it might change based on what we draw our line.
Sure. Okay, so we can just go.
I think there's no way around just broadcasting depths by playing Urborg Past, right?
you set yourself back a full turn. Otherwise, yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
You could be on Pox. You never know.
Yeah, that's right. Just trying to 0-5 a league with Pox. Well, he's presenting the Ice Fang Coado, or not.
Not anymore.
So that's interesting, because if he actually finds a sword, he has to decide if he keeps it in his hand or chooses to not shuffle. That's interesting. I think we just go for it, right? That was our plan.
I think you just put it into play, yeah.
We don't make the 2020. We still do it in step, right? Play around the
No, he's almost certainly has Oko, yeah.
Okay, so do we play out the pedal? I don't think it matters, but
it threatens crop rotation.
Okay,
on top of the combo.
Oh, I should have done that after the Dark Depths in case he has Spell Pierce.
I think it was fine the way you did it, because if they Spell Pierce the pedal, I think we just let that happen and be fine with that. So now we're in the spot where, assuming he does nothing, we can either do the virtual port thing, where the most he's going to get use out of is probably Quaddle, or we jam, knowing we can jam again.
I mean, how do we feel about this match here? Because I don't think it's getting any better, right? Or
yeah, I mean,
if we get out of this world or something.
Probably. Yeah, but we have another combo behind it, so I think it's fine to just start making him use resources, because it's possible that he just has Quaddle into Oko, which makes him take some actions. And
what does that mean? Ganbu Gan. Oh yeah, it's Chinese for "Are you gonna go for it?" That's basically saying call. Jeez. All right. I didn't know he had a Chinese ability. I think we just play out the same thing again, right?
Yep. We're going to see if we can get ourselves the 60 life.
That's right. All right, show me the Force of Will. Do we still do the same thing, or?
So this is a worse spot, obviously, because
got infinite options for him.
Yeah, could have a second plow. Could just plan on blocking into Oko, and we obviously don't have a way through the Quaddle.
I sort of think it's probably best now to just not go for it unless he. Oh, jeez, what is this? Snapcaster deck. Let's see the truth. Sure.
I think this actually could still be a Lauren, or he might have things like could have things like Shardless Agent, because that card works very well with Shardless Agent.
Now the question is, do we go for it? Because there's also a case to be made for just beating down, but that's not. It's not.
I don't think we're getting there. Beating down. I think this is the kind of. I just think it's getting worse from here.
Okay, so let's just do it.
If he's just General Snow, he can still have Plow up with Oko next turn. If he's a Lauren, we could die next turn. So, just make him have it. Our draws haven't exactly been kind. We've just drawn all mana for 4 turns. Seeing some form of interaction would have been nice, but we didn't have that option. Okay. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign, but it's very likely to find something.
Yeah, even if he misses on Oko and Plow, he's likely to find another blocker.
find, or he just didn't need it.
I didn't like at least a couple of those cards.
He can still.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. So he's either got a Coado or it's over, or a plow, or a snap plow. Oh yeah, he's got it. Yeah, he needs to fire it off right now. Good timing for him. I think we play the Catacombs, right? Because we want to thin the deck.
I agree.
Actually, yeah, this is nice. We could actually go for another Mirrorlage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we still pass the turn and just do it instead. Or do we do it now?
I don't think we want to announce it. Yeah, Force of Negation for free anyway that turn, even during our turn. So it's kind of awkward because
we turn into some kind of massive life gain deck.
I think we actually just wait here.
We just wait?
I think so, right? Because they now have Hardcast Force up. We haven't seen a Force yet.
So we're trying to get another. We're trying to get some kind of disruption or something else, right?
Yeah, either draw depths, draw a discard spell, draw something.
That's not helpful. I guess just play out another stage. Go.
I think so. Yeah.
I guess we have infinite turns.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try to get back up to over 20. Good plan.
So they're off Hardcast Force, but still don't really like this spot.
No. Okay, well. Does this change anything for us? I don't think it does. I think we're just going to have to pass go. Land go. Okay, I'm just F2ing through this turn. Yeah, that's not good. Sorry, give 1 second. I need to answer a call. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Hey, I should. Are you still there?
I'm here.
All right. Saying I'm back to both you and to Jeff. I don't think anything changes.
No, I mean you could start diversifying your stages into forests if you'd like to.
Oh, that's true.
On the off chance there's something.
This is interesting. Oh, I should have done that then. Yeah, I could have made it into forest. Is there something to be done here, or on their turn maybe?
I definitely wouldn't do it while they have 5 mana up. Yeah, make them spend mana on their turn. So one of the issues we're running into now is they're gonna is the first attack has to hit Oko. Yeah, unless we think they have absolutely nothing, and we can use the second crop to protect from Oko.
Yeah.
But that seems pretty unlikely. So we actually have to be able to get into a spot where we can attack 3 times, which is not the easiest thing in the world.
Oh, jeez. Draw 3. That's nice.
Yikes.
I think I mean, they could play another Oko, so I guess we should just take the damage. Do you agree with that?
I do, yeah.
Why did he leave back the Snapcaster?
That one has summoning sickness.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so now we're going to crop rotate. What are we sacrificing? The snow-covered...
Yeah, the swamp is the least valuable with Urborg out.
Do we do it again? Probably, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not getting any better from here.
Now we sacrifice the forest.
Or the bayou.
Or the bayou.
Since we have Urborg out.
Okay.
Yeah, on the off chance they have some kind of back to basics effect, we might as well keep the basic swamp or basic forest rather.
Deck from the ashes or something.
You never know.
Okay, so they counter both, and I guess we'll just now copy. Okay, so we're
gonna try again. I wouldn't use that. We need. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have a second stage, but I would have used the Urborg.
Okay, pass the turn.
It's making that card look pretty good this game.
That's right. Well, we're effectively goldfishing each other with minimal interaction. No, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, he had 2 plows. Okay, so we go for it again. That's kind of nice. I think it's still too risky to not go for the Oko, right?
Yeah, I agree. So we have enough life where we can keep absorbing their hits. Yeah, that's just game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Should we just scoop and save time?
Yeah, considering we have to win 2 more to win in 15 minutes against the slow control deck. Yeah,
So the safekeepers are coming in.
definitely.
The library's coming in.
Definitely.
I could see maybe one Veil Summer. I guess the surgical extractions will have to come in, right?
Yeah, those are good. I think one Veil's fine too, considering.
The question is, can we cut enough
Works.
things? Because I know Caracas is going to be out.
Yep.
But Jukabog is actually good here, right? Can we potentially shave a basic land, or is that just suicide?
I think that's a little greedy after you already cut down the 23 lands with Caracas. And some of the other cuts are going to come from acceleration, so we're already trimming a good amount of mana. Actually, I think their Reclaimer's fine. So
they do play Veils, but I think we do need some discard. The question is whether we keep 8 or trim some.
I usually keep all of this card against them. Where I normally trim is I'm anticipating the matchup's going to go a little bit. We're going to have time, so even if we're a little short on mana, it's not the end of the world. So I usually trim down to 4 or 5 acceleration pieces. And then...
How would you recommend the trim here? Like another...
Yeah, I mean, he's very familiar with the deck. ESG is not going to be a gotcha card, so I think it's fine to shave too. So I think it's fine to cut a second needle too. I mean, it's decent against Oko, but it's not great against basically anything else. You don't even really want to be needling Teferi because the more obnoxious part of that card is that it stops our interaction.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's just that.
So from here, it's personal preference. You could cut the second. You could cut a second petal. You could cut one of the discard spells. You could cut a third needle. Those are all fine. I usually kind of just go by feel and what we see post board, or what we see game one.
Let's go with this then. This looks like a keep. Because we could draw into discard. And we're a little bit slow, but it has all the pieces. Would you agree with that?
I think it's similar to the 6 that we kept in game 1 and never actually found interaction until it was way too late with the crop rotations. And this hand's even slower than that hand. So that was a turn 2 combo and a turn 3 combo. This is a turn 3. Yeah, it has no... Yeah, I think we can do better. So...
Yeah, this is not good because we don't have green sources, so we're forced to ship this, I believe.
Yeah, this is a how much variance are you willing to accept. So if on our first draw we draw a green source, this hand becomes amazing. And if we don't, this hand is unplayable. So I believe... Yeah, there's not enough green sources in the deck.
And these two cards are like Bajuka Bog and the Surgical are sort of like reactive cards that don't do anything for us right now.
Yeah, I think we'd bottom the Bog if we kept, but yeah, there's a lot of risk involved in keeping that hand.
This is actually we have to bottom 2. That's the problem.
So
we have to keep the lands, and we would probably bottom the Spirit Guide and a Duress, right?
So it's definitely the Duress as the first card. So the argument for keeping the Spirit Guide would be if we draw another discard spell, we could both play a turn 2 discard spell and use the Spirit Guide to crop rotation into Urborg. But that's kind of asking a lot to have a specific draw. So I think what we do is Spirit Guide, Duress get bottomed, and we're on a mulligan to 5. We're just going to hope our discard into...
Oh, sorry, I pressed that by accident.
Whoops.
That's not good.
Well, I think we have to keep this. That's unfortunate. That was a good hand.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to put 3 cards back. Obviously.
Huh. Okay, so it has to be Bayous the second, yeah. So it's got to be one of the green cards.
I think it's going to have to be Safekeeper.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because now we lose to counter magic.
So I think we just go Urborg pass.
I agree.
I think we just have to. Let's see. Just go for it.
So you have two options. Yeah, you can play Depths, play Pedal, then just go for it. I guess the issue with that is that loses to a lot. So you lose to any counter magic. So if he has, I think you wait until the upkeep for sure, because I think they have less copies of Pierce than Force of Negation, I would assume. But you still lose to Force of Will. You lose to Plow.
Is the game going to get any better, or is it just like if we draw one not of this world, like we're doing?
So what we would want to ideally see is a card that allows the crop rotation to be the protection piece and not the combo piece. So if we drew exactly Hexmage next turn and can play it, or Stage and play it, then you could combo with crop rotation off Pedal being the protection piece and not just Armageddoning ourselves if they have Plow. Or, like you said too, if we also draw Not of This World, that would also allow us to, instead of comboing off Pedal and sacrificing Urborg and killing Depths if it resolves, we would be able to crop rot off of Catacombs, so it's slightly different. But yeah, I don't know that we're in a bad spot. We mulligan to 4, so I think either line's defensible. I think if it was me, I would probably take a slightly slower line. Like play Depths, play Pedal, pass, see what they do.
Let's go with that, because I think it's like, if it was a tournament and I actually cared about the results, I mean, if I'm mulliganing on the 4 at this point, I probably would try to just go for it. But I think it's more of a learning experience if we don't go for it right away and see how we can potentially play ourselves out of it.
Okay, now that's interesting. Yeah. So now I think Quaddle's off the table at least now, so that takes some of the outs.
The only thing that's on the table is really Swords of Plowshares now.
Swords and Force, yeah. So
I think we should go for it.
I think it's defensible, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would probably go in this point, even though there's a lot of cards we lose to. So you have to pull the black first, yeah. And then you have to sacrifice
the Urborg, right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's got it.
Yeah, I mean, it was likely going to be a bad spot.
I'm just going to type GG right now. I'll hit send in a few seconds here.
Yeah, now I guess we can wait a turn. If that somehow resolves, maybe we can dig back into the game.
Yeah, Jeff's not going to misplay. Maybe we should fetch just to thin the deck, just to get it by you.
Probably not, because we want to actually draw a land, right?
Come on, Jeff, play an Urborg.
Don't foresee that happening, unfortunately.
I thought I would have stopped misclicking on Magic Online by now.
Well, now I guess we can try to Thoughtseize. Let's see what happens.
I think we actually take the. Did we take the Ponder or the Swords?
So I don't see how we're. Yeah, I would probably just take a Plow and then try and draw land next turn. Hopefully they force the Sylvan, and then we could tutor for the last missing combo piece the turn behind it. Hopefully draw into some discard. I don't know. This is a big ask because he's at a virtual 23 now too.
It's never the lens when you need them. I guess Sylvan Library.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna snap counter either of these. So wow. Guess he's gonna start making 3/3s to pressure us. And 6/6s. Yeah, I don't think there's a way out of this.
No. Just for fun, I'm gonna take one Sylvan Library.
So can play X Mage this turn,
Yeah.
which they'll likely force, or if they don't feel like forcing it because they're going to plow it.
Let's just do it. I guess we have to. Maybe there's a case to get all the cards.
Maybe. So yeah, we're basically just dead on board. He can swing for 6 this turn, put us to 3, and play Euro. 3 life. Yep. 3 life with 3 creatures on board.
This is not a great hand.
I agree.
This is a better hand, but it doesn't have. Actually, yeah. So we could churn one. We could turn one Sylvan Scrying. It's still pretty slow. There's no disruption. If we kept it, we would bottom Not of This World, right? But would you keep this?
So I think it's close, and I think you could waffle between how you want to. So we're on the play. So there's an argument to be made that you could preemptively needle. So you could bottom Swamp. And if you bottom Swamp, which is redundant with Urborg, you could go Urborg Needle, name Wasteland. And then on turn 2, play Depths and Scrying through a daze too, because you have the Spirit Guide and 2 lands. So that would get you to the full combo through Wasteland.
Oh, no, I mean, you can't.
With protection.
You don't have green, so the ESG has to be for the green.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the sequence would be Urborg Needle on Wasteland, turn 2, play Depths, tap Depths, and the Spirit Guide for scrying, and you still have Urborg up to play around a theoretical days.
Oh, got it. So it's a turn,
and then
turn 4 kill.
It's a turn. Yeah, it's your turn 3. You'd be able to combo, so they would get 3 turns since you're on play.
Oh yeah,
and you would have
because we bought on the swamp, we have Not of This World. So
which, if it's a plow deck, you have an interactive spell for that too. So like you have a card that's good against Delver, a card that's good against plow decks, and a turn 3 combo.
That seems really good. I mean, that's like, I don't think a 6-card hand would be better. 5-card hand would be better.
So, the weakness is you're kind of just guessing. So the needle's just like a guess. They might not be like, it'll feel really bad if you go Urborg Needle and then they turn 1 Gristlebrand.
It's like call therapy, right? You just name the thing that you're most concerned about or scared of.
Your hand kind of dictates that's where you want it to go. Yeah. Okay. So that's how I would play it personally.
I like, because
I don't think the swamp is necessary.
I like that. I like getting rid of the swamp. So now the question is this hand keepable on the draw?
On the draw, probably not, because there's a lot of things that could already go wrong. Plus, your needle could get dazed, or you have to use your green source to protect it, at which point you can't cast your scrying. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong on the other side. And we're not interacting with them, so if they're combo and they're on the play, that's even worse. Okay, so it's goblins. Mm-hmm. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully they don't have Moxus. Or we draw Hexmage. That would be good.
Yeah, they have that one. Oh,
there we go.
This is even better.
Yep. So they have 1 copy of Caracas, but it doesn't even matter because we have Not of This World. So we just main phase snap this off. Yeah.
So do we make it now? And we definitely. No, we they have Sting Scourger and stuff. So and we already shot off Wasteland, so I think we're okay, right?
We have the Not of This World anyway, so that beats everything but like an edict effect.
So you're saying
which
that?
Which I don't think. Yeah,
I mean, we can still block the Lackey, right? So
with Lodge, yeah. They have Wastelands, so I think we
can block with the Hexmage because it's first strike.
Sure, I don't think it actually matters with the Not of This World, but if you want to play around if you want to play around exactly like Warren Weirding, I guess. This works. That's the one card that I guess beats us in the spot.
Okay, so we're just basically goldfishing here. I don't think we actually need to side in anything.
We definitely want the K's. So on the draw, their lackey draws are they can be obnoxious with Muxus and with several other really fast creatures. That's one of the ways we lose. So I actually like the decays being removable. I also kind of like the
goblins play discard, right? Although it doesn't really matter for us.
There's not enough of it, I don't think, to make that card worthwhile. The cards that I like are definitely decays, and then Sylvan Safekeepers are also an option, just as an additional creature that if they don't have either the cycling removal spell or the black,
just to block lackeys or something.
Yeah, so I think those are pretty good. And they can just kind of swap in the Not of This World slot. So I think Bog is dead. Yeah.
I don't think Caracas is going to be useful, right? The legendary goblins not.
They do have Pashalik Mons, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, but they have to get to them, right?
Sure, but it's just kind of the 23rd land. So I think 23 lands is kind of the sweet spot. I think that's a card you can take out. I think it's close. The cards I don't like are, I think, Duress is basically dead in this matchup because they're on the play, so we're not catching an Ether Vial, and there's nothing else we want to take out of their hands. And I think a Not of This World for a Safekeeper or 2 Not of This Worlds for 2 Safekeepers is basically the same effect.
Is there a case to be made for playing the Oof?
Really only hits Vial, so
also makes our
you could bring that in too.
Yeah,
you could bring that in, but I think it's marginal. I think the 3rd Safekeeper I would have in as a body as a lackey blocker before the Oof.
So maybe just leaving 1 Out of This World and like this potentially.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think there's some flexibility in. I think you want to keep all the accelerants. You want to keep all the tutors. You want to keep the 4 needles, and I think the 6 discard spells that can take their creatures are all good. So I think this is a good swap.
Oh my god, did I actually buy the new art Safekeepers? I feel dirty. I try to buy the original art if I can. I don't like the new art stuff.
There's gonna be an individual that's in that art that's highly unhappy.
I just cannot get myself to play the new Spirit Guide. I'm sorry. This actually looks this looks quasi slow, but it has all the pieces. If we can hold down the fort against a lackey, right?
Yeah, so if they have lackey and a removal, it's going to punish the hand hard. Yeah. The other issue that we don't have covered quite yet is Wasteland. So if they had removal plus, so what we would end up doing is playing Hexmage on 3. So with Bayou, the land off of Catacombs, and the depths that we scrying for on turn 2.
Yeah.
So if they have exactly Wasteland plus removal spell, they could target the Hexmage before we can get the stage down to set up like the double combo. Like we don't have a way to beat Wasteland yet until turn 4 is the one weakness, but you're not going to have Needle every game, so I think this is fine.
So you think it's a keep, right?
It's close, but I think it's a keep, yeah.
So we would actually play the Safekeeper off the forest, right?
Yeah, I would just play it off the either. Well, we need double black, so we're gonna need Bayous both ways. So I would just play it off the Bayou, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully we get a. Oh, that's not what we wanted. But...
That's actually not the end of the world either, because we could technically lead Hex Mages instead of scrying, and if they remove it, they remove it. It's not
Hex
really.
Mages are actually not bad on the battlefield too.
Yeah. Once
in a while, it actually lets you remove counters from Planeswalkers and Vials, which a lot of people don't see. At least in locals. On Magic Online, I think everyone sees that line because people are actually more confident.
Okay, so they do have Sting Scourger. Interesting. That's unusual, but...
Do we protect the Safekeeper?
It's kind of ugly, but you could, because if they bring in Muxus, we kind of die, right?
Mm-hmm. I think we have to try and protect it, right?
I think that's fine, yeah. Because I don't think they have another removal spell. There's no way they would have used their Sting Scourger like that.
Mm-hmm. It's not really a 1-for-1. They still have a body, but
it's fine. That's a pretty slow clock. Oh, we snap trade, yeah.
Okay. Could have been a lot worse. Okay. Now the question is, do we go for the Sylvan Scrying line right
now? I don't think so, because we don't have the second black anyway at this point. So we can't play a Hexmage and Adepts on our turn 3 regardless.
Do we just go Bayou, Needle, Wasteland, go?
That's what I would do, yeah. Okay. Because we would get pretty punished if they wasted this Bayou. We'd be pretty far behind. Because they're probably going to play a 3-drop Goblin behind this, so we're going to need to start getting towards the combo. Can't afford to get wastelanded. And we don't even have to use the Spirit Guide next turn to scrying. We'll just we can play the Echo. Nice.
Great.
I mean, that
doesn't make sense. If they did have that, then they would. So Gem Palm cycles for 2 and does X damage to target creature or player based on number of goblins on battlefield, right? I think
so they don't have a goblin at all. So. Okay, so that's pretty...
The question is, I think we Sylvan Scrying for depths this turn?
I agree, yeah. Because we technically have the ability to combo next turn without the Hex Mages, which is nice.
It's about playing to win, not playing to not lose. This is also a lackey ability.
It's a double lackey ability.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's really good. Now we can arrest them off or Inquisition them off the bayou to see what we're dealing with, because we have enough mana to combo behind it.
No, right? Because we don't have double black.
We don't need the double black. So if we Inquisition off bayou, and play depths, our lands and play are stage depths. We can play Petal, so that's 1 to activate stage, and the Spirit Guide's 2 to activate stage, right?
That's true.
So we can just pretend the Hex Mages aren't even in our hand, and as long as they don't have Caracas, we should be good. They do have Caracas, that's unfortunate. Okay.
So I think we actually have to take the Crater Maker. If we want to play defense this turn with, we can't. Oh, we can't play. Okay, we're gonna get hit by the Instigator for sure. So it's just a question of which one of these matters.
I think the Chieftain adds to the clock the fastest, right?
Yeah, because this one has haste himself. So I'm gonna take the Chieftain, and I'm just gonna have to.
Yeah, so I think we play depths, play Petal, and hope that, because they did sandbag the Caracas, right? Because they skipped a land drop on 3.
If they play the Caracas on their turn, on their end step, we would Ghost Quarter them, right?
We don't have a way to do that yet, but we could if we drew a crop rotation.
Oh, that's right. What am I doing? What am I thinking?
Yeah, so we're kind of hoping that they don't think we can combo, because they did sandbag it before, so. Or maybe they draw something they want to play desperately on a 4, I don't know. It's unlikely, but maybe this no block will convince them that we can't do anything.
I'm already imagining myself having cards in hand I don't have. Oh, man.
Oh, that's brutal. Well, on the... What did they find off that? Anything? 3 cards. Yikes.
Oh, okay, so I think we have to play out the Hex Mage, right? There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah. We need to start thinning their creature base here a little bit. They're going to sacrifice the Crater Maker, but that's fine.
This is pretty savage.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a Sling Gang. They're going to go over 20. Or worse, I guess it could be Muxus too.
Is that the Black Goblin?
Yeah. It's got to be that or Muxus, I would assume.
I don't know what this does, but 5 is
It's
better.
like it's like ringleader on crack. Instead of looking at the top 4, you look at the top 6, and instead of putting them in your hand, it puts them directly into play. And then when it attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each goblin you control it's attacking.
It says I win. Got it.
Yes,
Okay.
there's going to be many.
Probably skip this.
I think. Yeah, I'd like to see if they show us anything relevant off this trigger. Okay, that's relevant. Okay, Siege Gang. All right, this is an interesting list. Okay.
So does this change our sideboarding at all? If we see the
So we know they have Caracas, and we know they have the bounce spell goblin. So yeah, I think we probably want an Out of This World back in, if not both.
Maybe just shave a safekeeper.
One safekeeper is fine. I think we still want some number of, because they also protect against both of those cards too. So
is there a case maybe for just going as fast as possible and just boarding out a decay or?
Yeah, I guess it's either getting greedy with the lands and taking out the Caracas, or one Spirit Guide or one discard spell, I guess, or the decay. Yeah, you just have to shade.
I like having the full like mana acceleration, just taking out a Caracas. I think that's what I'll try doing, and I will take full responsibility if something bad happens. Like, I guess there's no way to mark the 2 decays, but if I draw the decay and it should have been a Caracas, I'll take responsibility.
It's fine. I don't know that that's going to cost us the game.
Hands like this are going to cost us the game.
Yeah, this hand's not very good.
Okay, so we're gonna mulligan this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's. Oh boy. This is pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't think we can keep that either. All right.
This is a good 7.
Yeah, so I think we. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we will keep. We'll probably bottom. We'll probably have to bottom the Inquisition and a Sylvan Scrying. Or maybe bottoming the Sylvan Scrying and the Needle and keeping 2 discard just to try and delay the game.
So I was thinking definitely one of the 2 discard spells. So I like keeping the Inquisition. Whichever discard spell we play, we're going to play on 1. So I think the cards we care about the most are the cards that are going to get us run out of the game while we're setting up. So we really don't want to leave them with a Lackey or an Instigator on 1 or 2. Yeah. If they get to their 4 drops, we're just going to lose anyway. Plus, preserving our life total is important. So I think the Inquisition's a little bit better than the Thoughtseize in this spot. Mm-hmm. And I think the second one is between the second Tutor and the Needle. So I think it's close. I think I would prefer having the ability to set up the combo for sure, as opposed to the Needle.
Okay. And also, we're playing a guessing game where we don't know if we're needling the Caracas or
exactly
the Wasteland.
Or the Wasteland.
So it could be a virtual blank.
Yeah, so I like Inquisitioning them and seeing where we're at. Because if we draw a 3rd Tutor, that gets us access to Ghost Quarter anyway. Blood Moon.
Oh, that's interesting. Now. Because they have no turn 1. So is there a case to be made for taking the Blood Moon? But they have no acceleration either. We can't.
So the problem with leaving
decay or go fast.
And we can't currently go fast.
So I think we have to take the Blood Moon.
I agree, unfortunately. It would be nice to take the Instigator, but I think we're stuck.
This is a case where, like, hindsight says that maybe keeping 2 discards, but then I don't think we would do that in the dark if we had to do it again.
We wouldn't have a path to the combo yet either, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe we get lucky and draw another discard spell. Or a Hex Mage too. Hex Mage is great here. Acceleration piece is great here. So any acceleration, any Hex Mage, any discard spell are all okay. Well, non-Lotus Petal acceleration.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess in this situation, the Spirit Guide is a little bit better. Do not draw the Lotus Petal. Okay, it's come back. So I guess we would just Sylvan Scrying off Forest for Dark Depths.
Yeah, I think so. Well, not off Forest, no, off Bayou.
Okay.
Because if we do draw the Hex Mage,
we're not playing around Wasteland anymore.
Yeah. And if we draw a blank next turn, we can always beetle on Wasteland if we think that's a worry.
Yeah.
So I think we need a Wasteland here, just in case.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna need a Wasteland and play the Dark Depths and pass, basically.
Yeah, we need to draw a land next turn, or any mana source really next turn.
Mm-hmm. Crop rotating does nothing, right?
No. Nope. We're going to need to draw it immediately because they're going to matron for something devastating.
Mm-hmm. This reminds me of all the times I played against Burn with Dark Depths. It just feels like whoever's fastest wins.
I forgot they could stack it like this. I think we're just dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it goes in their hand, and then they get Muxus. What's his name?
They might even get greedy and Goblin Cell or us, which we'd have to. If they target the depths, we could crop rotation it. But then we have to draw exactly Hex Major stage if they do that. Yeah. I'm not sure which is worse for us. They're both pretty bad.
Should we have taken the Instigator? I don't think so.
So honestly, it looks like we would have won had we done that. But it's so greedy, right? They get 3 draw steps to find any land. Okay, that is what they did, so... Okay, I guess we're on...
We're getting another depths, right?
Yeah, so we're on needing... We have 8 outs. I need to draw a Hex Major stage. I think that's a pretty greedy line by the opponent. Moxus probably just locks us out of the game.
Okay, well, I guess we have to Inquisition them, right? There's nothing else to do.
No reason not to, yeah.
There's no life loss.
So the War Chief is the only card there that matters, I think, yeah. Okay. That's not so bad. If their top deck's not great, we might have another draw step at this.
Yeah, that was a little greedy.
This is only 3, and they get to put 3 more power in a turn, so they're swinging for 6 next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely beat that. Oh, what the?
Oh. Top deck.
Wow. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, because they also Muxus into multiple double strikers. Actually, hold on. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have exacts. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can draw anything. But yeah, I think they had exactsies even if we hit. Even if we blocked muxes. Looks like they had 13.
Yeah, even if we make a 20/20 next turn, they can still kill us.
Yeah, we're dead here by a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have needed to block muxes for it to even be close.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, on to the next one. UW Land. It's not an easy league, is it?
It's not.
This looks like a keep.
Yeah, it's not the greatest hand against Reanimator, but I don't like to play against what I think my opponent's on anyway.
If we think Easy Reanimator, we have to keep the Caracas. Oh, actually, no, we're not mulliganing, so
yeah, we're keeping the end regardless.
Somehow I already mentally thought we were like keeping 6. Okay, so I think we're keeping this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it can't get any better against Reanimator game 1, assuming that's what he's on. He may not be. Reanimator or Fair Blue deck, I think they're both good keeps. Okay, no Chancellor.
Wow, this is not what I was thinking. So we're gonna try and get under Narset. So I think Strix is
the play, right?
It's the only card that actually matters in this hand right now.
Yeah, Eric's been
branching out a bit.
Branching out, yeah. I played it like during the Loris era. I was playing against his Grixis control a lot. Okay, so what do we do here? We can play around days, so we can pedal and Sylvan Scrying for Dark Depths pass.
Yeah, that's how I would play it.
And at this point, we are just getting a basic forest, or we're getting a bayou. It doesn't.
I don't think this deck's going to have wastelands, so you might as well just get the basic.
Oh, might as well get the basic?
Yeah, basic forest is fine, yeah.
Do we play the Needle now? No, there's no reason to.
No, they can fetch their basic island off Delta, and their work's giving them black mana off the fetches anyway. I think if we're going to end up needling, we might as well needle Narset to, if they somehow live through the first Lodge token, to not give them impulses.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cute. So I think we lead with the Hexmage and see what happens.
Just lead with it, right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
Dark Depths. Dark Depths.
Yeah, I would actually
Needle playing naming Caracas or Narset.
I don't think this deck runs Caracas. I'd be surprised.
So just
I would name Narset. I mean, if you're really worried about a secondary card, whether that's Caracas or Oko or any of those things, we could needle that, but they can't tap out for Oko here unless, that would be a really no fear play. Okay.
I think we let it resolve. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, worst case scenario, even if he finds and plays a Caracas, we can just untap and needle it. But I would be surprised if that happened.
Okay, looks like he's digging. By the way, thanks for staying late over there on your time zone to help with this.
No, it's no problem. Short week anyway. We have Friday off for the holiday.
Oh, no.
That's interesting. I'll leave it to Eric to jam Reanimator into his deck.
Reanimator every deck. Okay, well we're gonna make the 2020 anyway.
Yep, start shipping through. Plus we could draw a tutor and win on the spot.
I'm happy it's not a Plowshares deck. Okay, well let's start attacking. Now, do we play Nito and name Caracas, or do we play it and name? There's nothing else that will hurt us, right?
Oko.
Yeah, I was thinking Oko, but will they play Oko in this deck?
We've only seen 2 colors so far, so I think it would be very easy for this to have green in it as well as a light splash. So the only cards that come to mind,
they're more likely to have Oko than Caracas, aren't they?
I think so. Maybe they have like 1 copy of Jace too. I guess that's a possibility. But it's just a guessing game. I think the most likely card for them to have is Oko.
Okay. Let's see if they fetch. Oh, do we name Scalding Tarn?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think they care about that line. Otherwise,
they would have fetched. Yeah. There's nothing hiding on top either. They cleared the top of their deck with a fetch and a strict straw. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they can use it for mana.
This is a lot of Strix.
Yeah. Are we going to see the Strix's 5 through 8? Wow, no fear, just attacking, huh? Gotta start somewhere.
I think Eric knows the list. Oh my god, he has all 4. Wow, that's less no fear now. Yeah. The worst part about this is we're not even close to getting through these because at some point he can Snapcast or Reanimate.
That's right. That is right.
Is this Dragon? Or does he actually have Gristlebrand in this deck?
Tidespell.
Oh my god. I guess we should have named Tidespell Tyrant.
Oh no, it's not an activated ability. So
yeah.
We needed to meddling mage Tidespell Tyrant or Reanimate. Wow.
Maybe that spells for 1 turn.
He holds back. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I can give it Pro Blue, right? Give it Pro Blue.
All right, so well. Here's the problem. If we go for it and he has an instant speed spell, which we know he does, unless he shuffled back the Fatal Push, which it is possible he shuffled back the Fatal Push. So I would assume he shuffled back at least the Narset because we had it needled.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we're beating this Tidespell Tyrant. if he has anything at all. So
Oh, that's right. If you cast Fatal Push
he,
off the
or
board,
anything really off of the turn, then yeah, we're kind of stuck.
okay,
but
so
is it
we should probably, because they I mean, deterministically he probably has a Fatal Push, right?
No, he did shuffle after Brainstorm, knowing what deck we were on. So that could have easily gone back. With the two cards that went back could have been Narset, Fatal Push.
So there's a case to be made for just attacking and just waiting for his Tide Spell, but it's not getting any better, right?
Yeah, the issue with that is every spell he plays on following turns, including this. Yeah, it's ugly. So I think I would just go for it and concede if he has an instant.
Yeah, so what I would do is crop rotate off and just sacrifice the forest.
Yeah, that's fine. With a swamp, either way. The basic swamp is probably slightly better, but if we're just going to concede, if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter.
That's true. Well, he's definitely going to wait.
It's a shame, too. No, he's got it. So,
concede, right?
Any other previous turn, yeah, if we'd have drawn that any other previous turn, we would have been good, but not there.
So this is interesting because this is a control list that uses the graveyard. I mean,
yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
I think we kind of.
There's nothing this kills other than Strix, right? So
no.
I mean, they could bring in Caracas. I don't think Wasteland is really a thing. Is there what does Nito actually get in this matchup? It's not a
lot. Doesn't look like much. I think the needles would come out. Yeah.
So let's say we take the needles out. What could we actually conceivably put in? Surgicals and ley.
At least the surgicals, I think, come in because they had snapcasters too, so those just seem all around good. Mm-hmm. I think
decays or veils.
I think I like decay because there's situations where they might only have one flying blocker back where decay will push it through. Mm-hmm. I would say cut Caracas, but I really wouldn't put it past him having Gristlebrand. He does have Entomb and Reanimate.
Right, but it's like if he has Gristlebrand, we might as well just play a ley line, right?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Is something like this doable, you think?
There's
also a case to be made for playing a library if it goes into this sort of grinding game.
That's also possible. Not of This World might not be great either. We didn't really see anything that interacts with that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's fine to shave there if you want to bring in either the library or Veil. Yeah,
maybe something like this. I don't know if he has discard, actually. He may not have any.
We certainly didn't see any of that game, and he saw quite a few cards.
And we're leaving in all our discards, right? I think that's...
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. So I like this config. Let's go with it.
Sounds good.
All right. This looks like we could turn 3 if we draw another, or we could crop rotate into Urborg, right?
Yeah, we could go for a turn 2 if we don't fear counter magic. I don't know that I would. Possible, yeah. I think I would keep this and lead on Catacombs Pass. That way, if he does some craziness, we're good. If he plays a cantrip on turn 1, you could consider crop rotation. Yikes.
Yeah. Well, that certainly didn't help. So the question is, do we still crop rotate?
I don't think we do here in response because, well, it doesn't really do anything, right? If we crop rotate into Urborg, we don't. He's going to take the Hex Mage,
So
which he might take anyway.
Yeah,
so I think we just
make him make the right play first. Let's just take the Hex Mage. This step is a little unfortunate.
Might not be. If we draw any kind of land off the top, it's nice to have a way to push through his tricks. That's interesting.
That's definitely signaling that he has a counter spell, right?
I would assume so, or that's a really good bluff, one or the other.
But I mean, we still go for it, no?
Let's see what our draw is, I think.
So we're not going to crop rotate end step.
There's no reason to. He's going to have the same 6 cards now, unless you're trying to play around exactly Force of Negation. That would be the only reason to do it on his turn.
Oh, does he have a surgical? Oh no, it doesn't matter because we can crop in response. I think Eric's a good player. He knows what he's doing. So taking the crop rotation. That's actually a good draw.
Yeah, I definitely think we hand check.
Okay, so we just hand check off of Bayou?
Yeah, I think so.
There's no reason to. There's no days, so let's just go for it.
He has an edict effect, so that's why he let us do it. Okay, so it's good that we took the line that we took, because if we would have played crop rotation and Hex Mage, we would have just gotten edicted.
Yeah, so we have to take the Triumph, and just that's really the only choice, it looks like.
I agree, yeah.
They'll Snapcaster it back at some point, but it'll be a while. So we're going to play Dark Depths Pass.
Yep. I think he has to find something else this turn, either ponder into another discard spell or ponder or strikes into or draw counter magic. Otherwise, we're just going to have the combo on the turn underneath his Snapcaster.
Now, right? Just so that he has the blocker.
That's really, yeah, that's kind of good for us though, because that would allow us to play our stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think this line's better for him, because if he finds another Thoughtseize, that takes our tutor or Hex Mage.
No shuffle. That's interesting. But it doesn't change what we have to do, right? Because
no.
So we just go for it. Well, now we draw the stage.
So
there's a world where you have the 2020 and the Hex Mage.
So I seriously doubt he kept the ponder into surgical. So what we could do here is sacrifice the depths off a crop rotation for Urborg, play the second depths, and that lets us retain our green source. I don't know how greedy that is versus just cropping Bayou.
So taking the first line is sacking depths to get Urborg because we have another depths.
Yeah, and that way, if it gets countered, that's not the end of the world, right? Because our end turn would still be a combo land and Bayou instead of our hand. I guess no matter how we do it, we're going to end up with stage depths or Bayou depths.
I'll take your lead on this one. So what do you think is best?
Yeah, I think the Bayou is best because on the off chance we need to reset.
So we're gonna crop rotate and just sacrifice Bayou for Urborg.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
And we're gonna play out the Hex Mage.
I don't even think we have to play out the Hex Mage now, right? We can just play the stage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can just natural combo.
Yeah. So this presents the combo back-to-back turns because we can stage Depths Urborg combo. If he has another Edict, we can play Depths and Hex Mage the next turn. I think it worked either way, but this makes him hold up mana to bluff Edict if he's going to do that.
He didn't have a Force of Will, right? Because if he had a Force of Will, he would have pitched the Snapcaster.
I think so, yeah.
Or he thinks he can get to turn 4.
I mean, he can't think he can get to turn 4 with the Strix because he saw our step.
Well, he can exhume the Strix after it dies, which is really nice.
Well, it's not going to die because the step would prevent it from blocking, right?
Just
yeah. He's in a pretty bad spot unless he found another Edict effect.
But he didn't shuffle, so he must have really wanted that land, I suppose, right? Because the land is better than whatever else. And he didn't fetch off that Strix, so he wanted those 2 cards.
Interesting. Right. Well, we'll see. I mean, so maybe he's got something.
We're gonna go for it and just present.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe he has something weird like a Vapor Snag, but this seems like a good spot.
Okay, so we're just gonna go for it.
I think so. Yeah.
We're gonna step and we're gonna give it pro. Blue.
Yeah, like blue. Okay. On the off chance that there's bounce, but he would obviously respond if there was bounce. Yeah, but I can't think of a black card that gets him through here. Like Dismember loses too much life. Yeah, there was no way to get through that. Okay, so based on what we saw in that game, I still don't.
But I think we still want this for Caracas and Tidespell Tyrant. I can't even say that with a straight face. Or do we just...
The better plan is to never let the Tidespout get on the board with Leyline, Surgical, and and Bog. Yeah.
So do we just take out of this world for 2 Veils, do you think?
I think that's fine, because even on the off chance Caracas shows up in game 3, we still have a Ghost Quarter that we can tutor for. So it's not like we're just cold.
It looks like we have Edict effects more so than anything else. And actually, this doesn't stop Liliana's Triumph, right? Because it doesn't target his opponent.
It does not. So the only way to beat that is discard and playing one of the 9 other creatures in the deck. I mean, we could bring in additional creatures if you wanted to have like Safekeepers as your theoretical answer to Caracas that also is Edict fodder. That's a thing that we can do.
Could we do that and shave maybe a Duress, you think?
I mean, you could. I think Duress is just better against the Edict effect, though.
That's true. So if we did this, we would shave an instant mana source like a Petal or a Spirit Guide. Right?
You could do that, sure. I wouldn't. If you're going to do it, I would do the Petal because we do want the extra bodies in case we want to set up a turn for Edict protection. Yeah.
Okay. I guess Reclaimer is good still as the 9th tutor. I guess this is an additional.
Okay. So we want additional tutors. Plus, having it be edict fodder too is good.
I wonder if 2 surgicals in the ley line is a little bit too much, or you think it's okay?
More the draw. I mean, he didn't have a ton of stuff, but he was at least running. We saw was it Exhume or we saw it.
Exhume. We saw both.
We also so we saw both. Plus they have Snapcaster. Plus they have Snapcaster Mage. So that's a decent amount of graveyard interaction. I think it's fine to have 3 graveyard hate cards. Plus, we're boarding out most of our protection, so we really need to kind of plan into never letting him have Tidespout Tyrant.
Okay, this is pretty bad, I think. It has no combo.
It's got one piece of the combo, so it's missing one piece.
Yeah, the Ghost Quarter
is a little.
I mean, almost nothing, unless it's to get rid of their Karakas. So. The surgical is also very conditional, so to me this seems like, and we're on the draw, so it seems like we should maul. But what do you think?
I think it's close. So the way I view this hand is the scrying is the depths. So I view us as having everything, but either we're missing Axe Mage or a Stage. We have an answer to push through Strix. We get to hand check them on Thoughtseize. Even if they don't go for any graveyard shenanigans, at the worst, Surgical's a peak on the turn we want to go for it to see exactly what kind of interaction they have if we need to beat an edict.
Keeping this because
I'm saying it's not. Trust me, it's not great, but it's got a decent amount of interaction with the opponent to go with a theoretical depths, but I think it's really close.
Okay,
it's not a world beating hand by any means, but it's playable.
All right, let's keep it. No F6 because they might have like Chernal and Griselbrand.
I don't think this deck presents like that. We haven't seen any acceleration yet.
The craziest deck I ran into was a Rug Delver list that sided in Show and Tells in Griselbrand.
I'm trying to think of where that would make the deck better.
It doesn't. I just lost to it, so I felt extremely bad. Like I wanted to quit Magic after that. Like all the cards that you have answers for are like answering the same card. like I'm bringing in 3 Red Blasts against you anyway. Okay, I guess we have to. There's nothing we can do here. Interesting to see if he takes the Sylvan Scrying or the Thoughtseize.
I think he's going to take the Sylvan Scrying. Wow. Interesting.
Okay, so he doesn't know
good draw.
Stage.
I think, yeah.
Do we just go? We go Swamp Pass, right?
I would actually go Forest Pass. I don't think we're going to end up in a spot where we can, unless our next 2 draws are exactly second Black Source, Hex Mage, Depths. We're not going to need the double black.
We can at least represent possible crop rotation.
Exactly. So if we draw one more combo piece, whether that's Urborg or Depths, yeah, that can represent the combo. Speaking of, so
Urborg Scrying.
I believe so. Yeah.
This is a decent hand against them. Okay. They do know we have a surgical, right?
He does, yeah.
That's interesting. If he did that, what does that actually mean? I mean, we still have to go for our combo, right? But we're not going to get like Machuca Bog or some craziness.
We don't have a land drop anyway, so yeah, it doesn't matter. We have to get depths.
Okay, but before passing, do we do something here?
So to me, this says he has reanimation spell plus protection. We can. So if you think it's like spell pierce, we could go now. If you think it's force of negation, we should go during his upkeep.
But he's doing this to try and bait us somehow, right? Like
he may just have protection. Yeah, I mean, he may just have force blue card reanimation spell, and we're just going to lose. Like, he saw all of our hand besides stage, so he may just be willing to do that. Or maybe he has a second Entomb, and if we extract the Gristlebrand, he's just going to untap, exhume, and reanimate Tidespout. But I don't think...
you can't play around that.
Yeah. So yeah, if he has Entomb into exhume, then that would beat our surgical anyway.
Our surgical now, because he might have a daze? Is that another line? No, but he would have dazed the Servant's Grind then, right?
Yeah, I don't think... I don't know what good it does to act here, right? All that does is get us beat by reanimate.
So we do surgical now.
I just don't know where the upside is. Like, I don't think he makes this play unless it's beneficial to him for us to do that.
So there's no reason to surgical right now, is what you're saying.
I don't think so. Like, I think we just also lose to...
Okay, so we just pass.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I'm the one with the lower clock, so...
Yeah, so this is just force blue cards, so... Wait, what? Okay, rewarded for waiting.
But okay, we do exile the other Gristlebrand, right? I'm just...
Yes, to prevent him from getting it.
At the rest of his library.
So next turn he's going to have a Tyrant.
Okay, so we still have to take exile the second Gristlebrand.
Yeah, we don't want him to have that either.
He does have Gristlebrand. Well, I guess if you're playing the Tyrant, you got to have the Gristlebrand. It's just... Okay. What do we do here?
I think we just played Depths Pass. We don't really have any plays, right? He's just going to have a Tidespell Tyrant.
Mm-hmm. We're just going to have to hope to get into draw into a crop rotation or something.
Yeah, he's not going to play around it. He knows we only have 2 unknowns, and if we had crop rotation, we have combo on board anyway, so he's not going to play around anything.
I have no snappy comeback for his chat. There's nothing we can do here.
I was going to say.
Oh, we could have removed the counter, right?
Yeah. No. I would have.
Floated.
I would have floated a black and then decayed the Strix.
No. Wrecked. Yes, that's right. absolutely right. You're absolutely
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
right.
I would play the Urborg again.
Just play the Urborg and pass, right?
Yeah, so we need him to flood out a little bit here, and hopefully the first spell he plays is not a redraw. So hopefully it's not like a brainstorm or another Strix or something along those lines. So the first spell he plays, we can veil the Tidespell trigger, and if he doesn't do anything, we can just untap and play stage.
Mm-hmm. So we just pass, or we try to decay the Strix?
Oh, I think we just untap.
Okay, because they might have a response, and then we
Yep.
need the veil.
Okay, so all right, stage go. Maybe he's got some cards he either can't play or additional lands, like an additional Animate Dead or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope.
Do we... Okay, I'm going to take the extra 1 damage from the Strix, even though it might make a difference.
Okay, so here I think we just go for it. It's not getting better.
What?
That's actually okay. In response to that trigger veil, yeah.
Just veil it now?
Yeah, you can't target it afterwards. Okay. Oh, we should have... No, I screwed that up. Sorry. We should have waited till he picked his target for Snapcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we didn't have a choice because the Tidespell trigger was out
That's
first.
right, yeah. I mean, Edict costs 2, so even if he finds one now, it's like, so be it, you know?
Yeah, well, he needs to... It's not the Edict that's the issue. It's any instant speed spell.
I mean, we needed to do it that time, right?
Yeah, we were dead on board to his next attack, so...
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So he's bouncing the Strix because he can pitch it? Why would he do that?
That doesn't help, actually. Maybe he just wants an additional card to put back and knows we have Decay.
Yeah, now I really want to see his hand or his gameplay. Does he have Fatal Push?
Oh, you know, well, don't play a spell. Just if what he has is counter magic, we just want to
we just want to attack.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do, right? We're not like playing a land, we're just attacking.
Correct. Yep.
There's nothing that
either found an instant speed card or he didn't.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible. How did we win this game?
Veil of Summer is a broken magic card.
That's right. One mana cryptic, as you said, right? That's incredible.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So we lose the easy ones and we win the hard ones. Okay. That's just how magic is. Why did he go for that Gristlebrand line? I'm going to have to review that replay later. I'm not fully getting it. Like, he might be streaming. Hopefully I can watch the VOD or something. I don't know. Okay, we're going to come back down to earth now with this terrible opening hand.
Yeah, we've mulliganed a ton.
Yeah. I think this is pretty good. We just bottom step and just try for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that button says keep. Just making sure. So he bounced the Strix because he just wanted to. Is this somebody that knows
he may have wanted.
On? Oh,
no, he may have wanted to have a blue card for force trigger if we played anything.
Do you think this person is? I mean, I'm not streaming, so he's not ghosting, but just Chalice on 0, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they kind of did us a favor by doing that. Like, so, 1's much better against us than 0. So
what's the play here? Do we Bayou Thoughtseize them, or do we?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think we play around Wasteland against the Cloud Post deck. Okay, so
there's a follow-up Chalice.
Okay. I'll let you say what you think first. I'll tell you what I think.
This is definitely a no. Grim Monolith is. You can tap it. This is for 1. This is for 2. I mean, next turn they could go Blast Zone, Grim Monolith, Chalice on 1. Thought-Knot Seer is a bit of a ways away. I think I would still take Chalice.
Okay.
But then everything that we need to win is off 2, so maybe Chalice doesn't do anything. So if that's the case, then it's really a choice between Grim Monolith and Thought-Knot Seer. And Thought-Knot Seer isn't going to matter unless there's a Grim Monolith. So I think we take the Grim Monolith.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think I would take the Monolith. The only concern with that line is if they draw exactly a double land. So if they draw and play Glimmer Post or Ancient Tomb over the next 2 turns, they'll be able to Thought-Knot one of our Hex Major Scrying because we can't play both of them next turn. So I think Thought-Knot Seer is probably the safest line, but Grim Monolith might prevent them from ever playing the game. So it has upside too. But yeah, you've narrowed it down to the 2 cards that I would focus on.
It's definitely those 2. It's just I don't know. What would you do?
I can't think of anything that they would do on 5 mana. So that's the issue, right? Blast Zone into Monolith into a 5 the following turn. I guess they could technically play it into Chalice on 2 as well, which would be annoying. So I think taking the Monolith and setting them back is fine. And if they draw land, a double land, so be it. Okay.
That's fine. I don't actually care about that. Okay, so we just get another Bayou Sylvan Scrying Depths pass.
That's what I would do, yeah. So we basically just need to dodge this Thought-Knot for 1 turn, and we should be good. Sweet. Oh, the Not of This World's nice because it is possible that they could have a Karakas.
Right. Now we just go for it now because there's a non-zero chance they might have Wasteland, right? And we have Not of This World.
I think that's fine, yeah. I don't think this deck has Wasteland, but I don't think this deck has... They're nowhere near enough mana to cast their plays that would... Like, they have ways to get this off the table at sorcery speed, like between Ugin, and they could theoretically play All Is Dust. But yeah, they're nowhere near enough mana to do anything. So that was fairly safe.
So I think Force of Vigors are very good here.
I agree.
I don't know if Collector Roof does enough in this matchup, especially if we have forces already. The problem is these cards can't get rid of Thought Knot Seer, so this doesn't help against Thought Knot Seer. I think the most we can side in is really like 2 cards. I think they're going to have Caracas in this type of deck. So there's a case to be made for like playing Safekeepers instead of Not of This World, but that's all I can think of right now. Yeah, what do you think?
So I generally bring in the decays against decks like these too, because they've already shown us Chalice, multiple Chalice. They do have some build-up mana cards like Grim Monolith that it can hit, and normally I expect to see some kind of hate-based permanent out of this kind of deck, whether some versions might have like a Stray and Staring Bridge, but more often you're going to see things like Sorceress Spyglass, which can be a real pain, or possibly Needle itself, which can be kind of a pain. So I think Decay has enough targets that I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I agree. Bog is absolutely awful. Bog can go. Step is pretty bad in most of these kind of matchups too.
So we're willing to cut 2 mana sources in this.
I think so in this spot. Yeah.
Okay. Can we get greedier and cut Caracas, or you think that's bad?
I really don't want to go to. I don't like going to. I think 22 is already kind of on the greedy side. 21 is on the super.
The thing is, most of our main deck is really good, right? I think fast mana is actually good. The thing is, we do think that these cards are better, so we do have to shave like some amount of. Probably going to shave Lotus Petals first because they can be played. They're played for 0, so we could do something like this, right?
Yeah, I think something like that's fine.
Would you do it differently?
I think I would probably also bring in. I would probably bring in Oof too, just because just shutting off a Grim Monolith just seems like such a big game. They could even have like the 4-drop that taps for 3 too, because they're legit trying to get up to 10 mana, maybe even 15.
So what do we cut here? Do we cut a Not of This World or a Needle?
I think a Not of This World or a Needle, either's fine. But yeah, we're on 12 seconds, so okay. I think that's fine for game 2 and see what we see and readjust. Needles aren't particularly great here either. Like, yes, they can stop a Caracas, but they're often going to Chalice on 1 against us.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We don't have a green source, but at the same time, we have Disruption. We have a Needle. If we have a green source... Actually, no, we don't have the combo either. So I think this is probably a mulligan because we're not actually winning. And if they go turn 1 Chalice, we're sort of screwed too.
I agree. Well, we do have the Decay, so if we draw a green source, but yeah, I don't think this is a great hand.
Okay. Now we get all green. We do have 1 green mana source, but that's it. So I think this is also a mulligan because this doesn't make mana.
I agree.
I think we're gonna have to. We have Disruption. We have no combo, but I guess we'll have to just draw into it because we're already at 5. So we probably bottom the Urborg and the Not of This World. Do you agree with that?
That's exactly what I would do. We're on the draw. We have a lot of outs. The 9 tutors, the 4 depths. We're just going to need to find one.
It's not the end of the world if they turn 1 Chalice either.
Yeah, since we have the stage too, we could absolutely use the X-Mage to reset the Chalice if we need to open up our ones.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have, that's almost like its own disruption piece since the stages has the same exact effect. Well, that's nice. We get to not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's good.
The question is, do we just go for the turn 1 Sylvan Scrying Dark Depths?
So I can't think of a play that they could make on 2 that would really punish us. The worst thing that they could do is play a...
They can't Thought Knot Seer, so
Yeah, the worst thing they could do is play a Spyglass, which doesn't even really matter because they would have to name Hexmage, and then we have Stage for turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So Chalice won't matter at that point. Like, yeah, it'll turn off our Inquisition, but we're presenting the combo. So yeah, I like just setting up for a turn 2 and putting them to the test, like saying, answer this.
They're above 20. That matters.
So one thing we could do is keep the Hexmage, keep hitting them for 2, and combo off of the... That's interesting. And combo off the stage the following turn if we don't want to expose Lodge. But I think playing the Hexmage here is no-brainer.
So we just go for the combo, right? I don't think there's a reason to. Or are you saying we actually do a? Oh, we're not playing discard. We're running out the Hexmage. It's just a question of.
I think we go Depths Hexmage, yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't clear if you wanted us to do something else. That's all.
No, since they're at 22, I don't think there's any pressure for us to like main phase the combo. I think we can just see how the turn plays out. See if they play a Caracas.
Okay, well then we're gonna activate it, right?
Yeah, if they have the Caracas and the Spyglass, so be it.
Okay, we're definitely not blocking the Matter Reshaper.
No.
Oh no.
All right, I got it.
Well, they have no clock though. We'll see how it goes. I think we Inquisition, right?
Yeah, well, we can do both, but yeah, we can start with Inquisition. Yeah.
I guess we will have to follow up with the duress on
Karn, yeah.
Karn, yeah. I can't be too upset about that. We had a pretty good draw. On a multi-6.
I think we're on 5, weren't we?
Yeah, I lost track of how many times we multiplied. It's probably a high amount.
It's been a lot.
It's consistent with my leagues, actually. I should have kept track. Oh, there you go. Doesn't really matter now, but...
Yeah, I think we're deterministically dead here. We can't... There's no way to piece... We're 2 pieces away from the combo, plus we would need an answer to Caracas. So, and they're on a 2-turn clock. All right, so...
I could see a case for like playing the 3rd petal just to be a little faster on the play.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And maybe shaving a discard, I think.
Maybe yeah.
The rest, right?
It's actually I think Inquisition might be worse here because they showed us Karn.
Yeah,
which Inquisition can't take, so I might shape both of those to be perfectly honest. We don't really care to take Matter Reshapers or any of that stuff.
Or GTA or some crap.
Yeah, I can't hit Natsu, so it's just kind of.
So do we play the 4th petal now, or do we go for Not of This World number 3?
I think we probably want as much speed as possible here.
Right. We have 6 ways to deal with Caracas, so I think, or even more, but
yeah, Tears for Ghost Quarter. Yeah, we have a lot of ways to.
Okay, I like this
to attack it.
We have 2 Force of Vigors too. It's like not insignificant.
All right, this hand's really good.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure, go ahead.
Wait. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, this is a keep. This is a snap keep, so there's nothing to be said, right?
Yeah, I mean the only real problems with this hand, Spyglass doesn't matter because we have both stage and Hexmage. So turn 1 Chalice doesn't matter. Yeah, so they're gonna need to have a land-based answer in their opening hand, or draw it over the first 2 turns. So. And we have plenty of green, so any tutor, even if they have it, any Not of This World, any Needle, all of that, I think do have it. Okay, so wow, this is annoying on so many levels. So they already have 4 mana, so
I think we actually have to take the. Do we take the Grim Monolith and just hope to get a Decay or Force of Vigor later? That's pretty bad, though.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the Karn. So, like, right now, there's a bunch of problems. They have the exact same sequence they had last game where they can Spyglass with Caracas, and they're going to go over 20 life with the Glimmer Post. They're going to go Cloud Post pass, Glimmer Post go to 22, play Spyglass. Actually, no, yeah. And then we can't actually combo because if we combo, they untap, play Caracas, and bounce it to life. So this game is going to extend out, and Karn represents Ensnaring Bridge, which would mean we need to answer Caracas and Ensnaring Bridge.
So we're going to take the Karn, basically.
I think Karn's the biggest problem. Yeah, their hand's like really good for the matchup.
Well, there's no point doing a walkthrough with you, Tom, unless it's challenging. So we don't want those easy games where we just win on turn 3 every game and keep our 7.
1 or 2 of those games would have been nice, though.
I know. This is exactly the situations where I feel like, why am I not playing slow depths? But I know it's very like results oriented thinking.
That's interesting. Well, now I'm really glad we took the Karn. So I think we still do Depths Hexmage, yeah.
Alright, we're going on the beatdown plan.
So the Tomb's actually kind of nice, right? Because they can't.
Right, it actually keeps them lower
under 20, yeah. So now we just need to find an answer. So I guess they Golos here. Oh no.
Well, there's we absolutely cannot make the 2020 now, so we're just gonna have to
correct.
We're gonna have to let this name. We can name anything really, Stage or Hexmage. Probably Hexmage.
You could technically name Verdant Catacombs too.
Oh, that's right.
If you wanted to limit our white or our green.
That's true. No,
I don't think he's going to do that. Yeah.
We're gonna get there in 8 turns with the Hexmage. This costs 5. Oh man, okay, that only helped like with one part of it. Please play a Wasteland so I can copy it. Right.
So
we probably play the Catacombs because we don't want them to know anything. So. No, we play the stage. We play the stage, right?
Yeah, I think we play the stage because we want to force them to put the Caracas in play.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to let them sandbag it until they get around to it.
Right. Yeah, we don't want the shuffled away with Brainstorm and next level us.
Actually, you know what? I think that's a mistake. I'm sorry. I think we actually should have played the Catacombs. So maybe they would have thought there was no way for us to combo, although they probably would have played around crop rotation.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything we do in response to this?
I don't think so. It's just a land, right?
Yeah.
It's probably just gonna be another post.
The best possible draw now, other than a needle, would be Force of Vigor.
Not of this world. I would win the game on the spot, I think.
Okay, I'll settle for winning the game on the spot then. Okay. Okay, I cannot go for the combo.
So yeah, I guess we just play a land pass.
Them attacking with Golos would be good for us, I think. Oh, they could actually bounce their own Golos with Caracas too. That's pretty sick. Oh my goodness.
That's actually it's actually okay. So I think what we want to do here is when they activate that, they're probably going to try and bolt the X-Mage. Or us. So I think in response to this, we probably want to, decay the Sorcerer's Spyglass and then kill Ugin with X-Mage. We need to fetch first, yeah.
That is an excellent heads-up play I didn't see.
This is interesting because if they somehow have something else to do, they may do it and tap the Caracas and we could win with the Spirit Guide. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be really funny if it did.
That's like the local weekly stuff that happens, so it's not happening here. Okay, well. I just need one. We have 6 outs, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot more. We have 10 if we can get Ghost Quarter, or 11.
So there's 9 tutors and Ghost Quarters, 10 land-based answers, and then 4 needles is 14.
It's like a fourth of our
2 not of this world. 2 not of this worlds is 16. Yeah, we have a lot of outs.
And they're under 20, so that's all that matters. I wish Alva's Spirit Guide had Flash.
Yeah, it's funny that they hit that this turn, because next turn was going to be the turn we were going to be able to cast Elvish Spirit Guide and threaten the combo.
Elvish Spirit Guide beatdowns.
Can't hurt.
Okay, so now we have 2 turns. So
Needle, they just cut us off of 4 outs.
I guess we just fetch just to thin the deck.
We have 2 so let's see. So they hit us for 7 next turn. That puts us to 4. No, we don't want to fetch because if we brick this turn, they attack us for 7, put us to 4. If we hit the following turn, if they don't put more pressure on the board, we could block the 4/4, take 3, and go to 1.
Okay, well That is a good draw.
That does it.
Okay, so this turn we just Sylvan Scrying
for Ghost Quarter, yeah.
We just Sylvan Scrying for Ghost Quarter.
Yep.
We can do it off Catacombs and Bayou, right?
It doesn't matter as long as it's not off stage. Anything else is acceptable.
Just checking. All right, so basically they're gonna have to top deck. Okay, do we go for it? We still do it on their end step, right?
Let's see how much mana they have. So they're going to untap Grim Monolith. So that gives them 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
They could play that
14,
10 mana Eldrazi.
14. That gives them 14 mana. Yeah, they can do anything they want.
Yeah, they could exile sorcery speed. So
they can make Ugin, they can make Wulog. They could do Karn into anything in their deck. The one card that would kill us if we wait until their end step is Ballista. But I think I'm okay with. They clearly don't have Ballista. It would be in play right now. So I think we just wait. And if they somehow draw Ballista,
we can just Ghost Quarter them on their turn, right? It doesn't matter.
I think so too, because it's entirely possible they run based on the fact that they saw in their opener in games 2 and 3. It's entirely possible they run multiple copies of Karakas.
Right. So just end step.
So we don't want to Ghost Quarter that, make it to block, and then them just lay another Karakas and we just scoop. Yeah. So I think they can't kill us with Ugin. That would also put us to 1 if they bolt us. I think I'm okay with losing to
Ballista.
Ballista, yeah.
All right. Oh, interesting.
I wonder if they have something like Glacial Chasm.
There's nothing we can do about that, right?
No, right now, no.
I mean, there's a case to be made for you don't want them to use Karakas again.
No, I think we have to let this happen. So can they get? I don't think they can get to Emrakul mana, even with if they tap 5 for Golos off Tomb, Glimmer Post,
let's take
or
a look
Tomb
at this. So
Monolith.
how many locusts they have? They have 3. So this is 6.
So if they tapped Monolith. So if they tapped Monolith Tomb, that's 5 for Golos. That would give. They got another Cloud Post. The 2 untapped Cloud Posts would be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, it's 14.
I think they can only. Yeah, so if they cast for Golos, I think they can only get to 11, even if they get another Cloud Post. Mm-hmm. So I think we just let all of this happen. One line we can take if they attack us for 4 and tutor for something like Glacial Chasm is end step, use our stage to copy our own Ghost Quarter. And that would give us additional outs of drawing another stage, drawing a Hex Mage, etc. And we would have two Ghost Quarter effects.
For this deck to play Chasm, that's a little too deep, right? It's unlikely.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else would matter, because the land comes into play tapped, so what land would matter in that spot?
I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Unless their last card is Candelabra or something like that. And I guess they could have a maze of it.
Okay, maybe they're just showboating. Yeah. I think this match and the one versus Eric have been really, really fun, honestly.
Yeah, they've been tight. A lot of good decision points.
Did he put something
particularly? He just tapped 2 colorless. I think he's trying to figure out what the best way to cast his Golos is my guess.
Beautiful.
But that has to be Grim Monolith. There's no way any.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do we actually keep any 7-card hands this league? I don't know.
It didn't feel like it. I think it didn't even feel like we kept that many 6s. Oh, you know what? We did keep a 7. We lost the game. We kept the 7. The 1-7 we kept was in game 2 of that match, I think, where we kept Urborg, Depths, Stage, Hexmage, and they played Gain Life into Spyglass into Caracas, and we never drew out of it. So yeah, I think that was one of the few sevens.
I was talking about to you, Tom, at the beginning in our Q&A, was just like, I feel like this deck is just like absolutely invincible. You have those good draws, and then sometimes you're just sort of like, how do I get out of the situation, and how do I like top deck stuff? And I don't know. I don't know how quite to describe it, but it doesn't feel like a lot of the times I have a ton of agency, and maybe that's a falsehood, but it's just how I feel, you know.
Yeah, I can obviously didn't see any of your other matches, but I can tell you from having a couple of thousand matches in with this exact build, because I started playing this exact build like in the fall last year and played it pretty heavily from like October to January before taking a long break, and then I've been playing it again for the last few weeks. So yeah, I got a couple of thousand matches in with this, and your draws were below average. I can definitively say, and I've played enough of this deck to know that I wouldn't have been pleased going through 5 matches having those draws. That was a lot of all against the 5, 1 to 4. I know 1 was like a misclick, but a couple to 4. But yeah, it was, and then it just felt like there was a lot of games where we just were a card away for like 6 or 7 turns and just never saw anything. Like against Jeff, we kept the hand where we had the ability to combo and combo behind it, and over the course of like 4 or 5 turns, he answered the combo 3 times, and we just drew like mono lands. And against goblins was like, a bunch of unplayable cards where, it just felt like we flooded quite a bit in a 23, 24 land deck and mulliganed a little bit more than average. I think, in particular, the Goblins match, I think we win the majority of the time. Our draws were just really bad.
That Muxus off the top after the Goblin Settler was just epic. I mean, if I was like Solnox, I would probably be very upset about that.